AITA for telling my dad that I don't want him walking my cousin down the aisle? My 16F cousin, 23F, is getting married in November. She's the only daughter of my dad's brother. For some context, we don't get along at all. She bullied me while growing up, and after my uncle passed away she tried to steal my dad. He never allowed it and made time for both of us, but to this day my cousin still says that I was a bitch for not letting her have a paternal figure. Which is not true. Neither my mom or dad allowed her to mistreat me and abuse me. But there's so much a parent can do. She used to do it while they weren't watching too, and I was too afraid to tell them because I could see how important it was for my dad to have a relationship with her. So I kept quiet. While the bullying decreased, it never went away. She still makes fun of me. Because I'm single. Because I'm dumb. Etc. etc. When she got engaged, she excluded me from the bridal party, and it wouldn't matter if it wasn't for the fact that she included the rest of the family. Her mom's side and my brother's. My dad found this suspicious, and things got a lot worse with her funny comments that I'll probably attend alone. That she didn't think the bridesmaid dress would be flattering to me because of my size, etc. She took my parents to dinner last week and asked my dad to walk her down the aisle, and I don't know what excuse he gave her, but after that, he came to my room and asked me if I would be okay with this. I was honest. I said no. I told him that she made most of my life hell. Even before my uncle passed away, and since I was his only daughter, I thought it would be an experience between us. That I knew she would ask, and I only wanted to make my feelings clear, but that at the end of the day, the decision was his, and I'll accept whatever he decides because I know how important she is for him. He told me that he loved her as a daughter too, and that was it. Well, my dad told her no, and now my cousin is blaming me, telling everyone that I forced him. That I was a jealous little bee, and that if I don't fix it then I wouldn't be welcome at her wedding. My mom and my aunt sided with her, that it was a low blow from my part, and most of her family is saying that it wasn't fair. My mom called me yesterday and told me that I should have lied because this was an important moment for her. My brothers told her that if she didn't stop the harassment then they'll drop from the party too. And I help but think that I cause a big mess. NTA. Your cousin is an asshole. And all those comments are extremely mean, especially considering you're a teenager and she's an adult. WTF? It seems like you were already aware that she's the only one in the wrong, though. NTA. He asked. You answered. The people in your family are cowards and nasty for coming at a teen like that over a grown-ass man's decision. NTA. And I'm glad your brothers have your back. To be honest, the biggest in this story is your mother, closely followed by your cousin. NTA. Your cousin poisoned the ground under her own wedding with her ongoing hateful behavior toward you. The fact that she was being an abusive, demeaning bully to you with the wedding planning disqualified her. It's ridiculous for her to ask your dad to walk her down the aisle like a daughter in the wedding, while she's bullying his actual daughter to anyone who would listen. The below was a very mature thing for you to say. At the end of the day, the decision was his, and I'll accept whatever he decides because I know how important she is for him. You only told him how you felt, which was 1. honest and 2. important to share. You are most definitely not at fault here. I'm kind of wondering how your father doesn't see the abuse, because the difference between you and your cousin is night and day. NTA. Between you and your cousin. Clearly not between you and your dad. He had the presence of mind to ask and follow your lead. Whilst it's not mentioned, I hope he also had your back during this trail of abuse. If he didn't, then he is in awe. Anyone that has given you crap for it is clearly in awe. Or ignorant. Or both. She's been consistently awful to you over many years. It's absolutely reasonable to have an issue with your own father walking your bully down the aisle. Good that he said no. You didn't make this drama. Your cousin has set this up over years of what is, essentially, a campaign of open bullying. Even from what you wrote, the bullying hasn't gotten any better. It's just changed with age. "Oh, you shouldn't be my bridesmaid because the dress won't flatter you," is just the adult version of the same shit you put up with as a child. There's way more, but I think that's enough. NTA. So she taunts you for being single at 16? Oh, yeah. What a spinster you are. My God. You are just withering on the vine. I was all ready to say YTA, but she is just reaping what she puts out there. NTA. Your father is an adult and can make his own decisions. It's good that he's taking your feelings into consideration. But he honestly isn't going far enough. He should have stood up for you before and definitely needs to set the record straight with your family. Info. Why does your mom think you told your dad he couldn't do it? And what does your mom say about cousin's snide comments about you being single and wait? NTA. You were asked an honest question. You gave an honest answer. It's not your fault what decisions your father chooses to make. And your cousin made your life miserable. I'd recommend distancing yourself from your family and give yourself some time to heal. WTF. The account of people saying you are the A are just crazy. Your dad asked you how you felt about it. Should you have to lie to your father about your feelings like you have done your whole life? Or should you be able to speak the truth? Anyone who says you should have to lie to your father for anyone is wrong. He asked your real feelings and you should never have to lie to him about that. You are NTA for having feelings and being able to express them to your father. It does not matter that his father is gone. While yes, it is very sad for her. And she like any other woman who has lost their fathers. But that does not mean you should have to give up yours. NTA. Your cousin is making fun of a single 16-year-old? My gosh, your parents need to pull their head out their ass and come down hard on this behavior. NTA. You should be the first one that your dad walks down the aisle. If he gives in, you'll never hear the end of it. NTA. She made her bed. All these YTA votes. Do you guys have reading comprehension skills? NTA. You cousin needs to grow up. NTA. I think it's sadly up to you to sit your mom down with your dad, who seems to get it too, and explain to her your full truth about your cousin and how many times you kept her poor treatment to yourself, trying to allow for how difficult she had it without a dad. But in the end, she is now an adult, and that loss is not an excuse to treat you like crap, as she continues to do, pointing out all the ways she has excluded you from the wedding, the insults, etc. Explain how you want that moment with your dad to be special and unique as his only daughter. But that in the end, you left the decision up to him. Willing to bet once she gets the full picture, especially with your dad right there, she'll change her tune. NTA. I think if she was nicer to you growing up, you would feel differently about your dad walking her down the aisle. This is her fault. And you're literally 16. Your cousin who's 23 shouldn't be bullying you about your appearance and about the fact that you're single. And any of your family who is taking her side is just adding her sense of entitlement. NTA. I think it's really great that your dad noticed the bullying and put a stop to it. I also think it's really nice he asked your opinion. If she wanted a parental figure, she probably shouldn't have treated his actual daughter like shit. She shot herself in the foot with this situation. It's not your fault, and your mom and grandma are wrong for telling you to ignore your feelings to make your cousin happy. Absolutely NTA, you have acted with integrity. A. You were honest with your dad. B. You said you would respect his choice. C. Your cousin is an entitled and disgusting human being. P.S. You brothers are champs for backing you. Dunno what your mother is thinking, TBH? NTA. She's still a bully to you. She's not apologetic for how she treated you, and your dad knows about the problems between you two. Or else he wouldn't have asked. He's being an excellent father, putting his feelings for wanting to be there for his niece to the side, so he won't hurt his daughter. NTA. You told your dad how you felt and then let him make an adult decision. Where is your dad in the aftermath of this? Is he allowing you to take the heat for it? Why is he not stepping in front and saying, I made the decision that I want that moment to be something special shared just between my daughter and I?
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. AmITheAsshole is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.